Thank you very much for joining me on the program. I am Mary Kanu. These are not the best of times for reigning world champion Tobi Amusan, who was noticeably absent as the Athletics Federation of Nigeria announced Nigeria's team list for the 2023 World Athletics Championships to be held in Budapest, Hungary between August 19 and 23rd. The 26-year-old was provisionally suspended by the Athletics Integrity Unit after she was charged with rule violation for missing 3 drug tests in 12 months. The ARU announced the sanction in a statement on its Twitter handle last month, saying the Nigerian superstar was suspended for 3 whereabouts failures. While the ARU has said that there will be a hearing on her case before the World Championships, Amusan has also vowed to fight the charges and prove her innocence, saying that she is a clean athlete and regularly tested by the ARU. Meanwhile, an official verdict on Amusan's case is expected to be announced by ARU before the World Championships begin because of an accelerated hearing, unlike the month-long trials for some of her compatriots who have been on the suspension list for some time now. It is, however, unclear whether Amusan's omission from the list is an indication of the ARU and World Anti-Doping Agency hearing outcome on the case. Well, to speak more on this matter, I'm joined by sports analyst Itoro Jimmy. Thank you very much for joining me. Now, we know that Tobi Amusan knows the rules of the game, and she has also said she will fight her case. Does she really have a fighting chance, considering that there are laid down rules which must be followed?
Yes, I would say yes, she still does have a fighting chance. She still does have a fighting chance. The thing is that the verdict should be out in the next, say, 5 to 6 days from now. So if the verdict comes out, hopefully it's favorable. But if it isn't, she'll have to appeal. So that's why I say she still does have a fighting chance. And from the appeal, instead of the 2 years, because the penalty for this is actually 2 years. So if she gets to appeal and get 1 year, she might miss the athletic championship, but at least she may not miss the Olympics. So that's the fighting chance I'm talking about. So she still does have a fighting chance, yes.
Well, in her response, Amazon said she is regularly tested by the ARU, maybe more than the usual, in her own words, and that she was tested even within days of her third missed test. There is clearly some kind of confusion going on here. On whose side should the blame rest?
Well, I won't say I want to apportion blames to the athlete or even the say athletics integrity unit or even her team, but it's actually a primary duty of the athlete in question. It's a primary duty of the athlete in question to take notes of everything. Be very careful. We've had athletes in the past who probably failed a dope test and they claim they didn't know the kind of medications they were taking because it was given to them by their coach and all that. Now you can't live your career. You can't live your entire life. It's like you saying, okay, because I'm an athlete, even if they're poisoning my food and I'm gaining weight and all that, I shouldn't pay attention because it's being given to me by my coach. As an athlete, you should be careful of what you're taking because you are the one that will be tested at the end of the day. So you might have, say, a headache, and you probably get a pain reliever or something, an aspirin that contains something that is against the athletics rule for you to take. And taking that doesn't exempt you. You are actually guilty because you ought to be very, very careful of what you consume. You understand? So in this case, I think for Tobi, yes, in her own words, she's come out to say, look, I have been tested, I've been, so we wouldn't be speculating here. I don't want to speculate. So I think it would be best, to just say, maybe give a benefit of a doubt from what she said until the verdict comes out. And we are sure then from what the verdict to be, then we are then sure of, okay, she has a fighting chance of probably getting a chance to appeal, and then from there we see where we can go. I don't want to, kind of like should I say, take the horse to the river myself and then start, speculating. I don't want to speculate. Let's hope that from what she says, maybe when the verdict comes out, is quite favorable to her. But really, in terms of who should take charge, who should be blamed, she should have been, she should be the one very careful. And since she's coming out to say, I have been tested more often than none, so I think I'll agree with her own, submission.
Well, the AIU's rules state that an athlete who misses 3 whereabouts tests within 12 months is guilty of an anti-doping rule violation, and the penalty for this is a 2-year suspension. However, the AIU has the discretion to reduce the suspension to 1 year, depending on the degree of the fault. So, how do you see this panning out for Amusan?
Well, to be candid, Tobi is not the first person that has missed a doping test. Yes, we have an athlete from Bahrain, Salwa Ed Nasir. Yes, she ran the 400 meters sometime in Doha. I think that was in 2019. She won that world championship in Doha, and that was the fastest since 1985, right? And after that, I think we have an American, yes, that's Coleman, dead before Tobi Amusan. Now, both these athletes have also, they've also gotten penalized. Bahrain also served, I think, 2-year suspension. Bahrain served a 2-year suspension, and she'll be lucky to, meet up with the next Olympics. So I think her suspension would finish this year. Now, if Tobi is lucky, like I said, she has the chance to appeal. If she's lucky, she'll go ahead for the she'll go ahead to participate in the Olympics. 2 years for to correct an athlete, I don't think is bad. However, it is what that athlete stands to lose at the end of the day, because if Tobi eventually misses next year Olympics, she will have to wait 4 more years. That means you have to wait till 2028. So I mean, it will be a very, very long haul for her, because she's really done well for herself, and it will be a great momentum, to continue in that line. I mean, after all the wins that she got last year and all that, I know this this has actually probably affected her in a certain kind of way, but we don't want to be deflated by all this. Let's just be positive. 2 years in the life of an athlete is a long time. It's a very, very long time. I must tell you, it's a long time, because in as much as she might be missing the World Athletics Championship, mind you, she might be missing it she will only be missing it if the rules, let's say the verdict comes out and is not favorable. But if the verdict comes out and it's okay, she can still go into the World Athletics Championship, with a wild card, because she's a world champion. You understand? So she can still go in with a wild card. But if it's not favorable, it means she has to wait for another 4 years, talking about the Olympic, and, probably getting time to even compete the World Athletics Championship.
Well, we have to take a break now. So let's take a short break. But when we return, the program will continue. Join us again.
Opinions are free, facts are sacred, the truth is universal.
Now, let me ask you, Colonel, how, in practical terms, can we, for instance, de-escalate the tension?
Governments must find the political will.
On Digi 360, we give you a complete dose of everything: opinion, facts, and undiluted truth.
I hardly believe what politicians say in this part of the world.
A new Nigeria is possible, a future is possible, a great country is possible.
We delve into the issues, dissect it so that you can understand it and use it to take action. Digi 360, dissecting the issues.
Thank you for staying. Well, Tobi Amusan's alleged doping case and the omission of her name from the list of athletes to represent Nigeria at the 2023 World Athletics Championships has been our topic for today. Sports journalist Itoro James is still here with us. Well, Earlier this month, Amusan was stripped of her 4x100 meters 2022 Commonwealth gold medal after one of the members of the quartet, Grace Mokocha, was found guilty of doping. Cases like this do not seem to be abating. Mokocha's case follows the likes of Divine Oduduru, Blessing Okagbari, and others who were banned from doping or banned for doping. So why are athletes still involved? What would you say athletes are still involved in doping despite knowing the consequences of the action?
I said something earlier, and that is most athletes sometimes get to take, substances without even knowing. This is for those that are probably unaware, right? So from what I was saying, like I said earlier, most athletes go ahead to take on substances and they don't pay attention to what it contains. Now, every year there's a rule on WADA that states what athletes should not consume. Now, as an athlete, you ought to pay very, very much. So does this food contain this substance or not? You get my point. So if at the end of the day, an athlete is to be blamed or an athlete falls victim, it depends, should I say, it rests solely on the athletes because they probably were not really that careful. It's not all athletes that goes all out, you understand me, to violate rules deliberately. Some of them just do it without knowing. It could be in the probably energy drink that they took. It could be in probably some pain relief. Probably they're having a knee injury. They have some backache or something, and they decide to take, some aspirin, not knowing it contains some banned substance that was not approved by WADA. So sometimes, these are mostly things that, get them in trouble. And it was really unfortunate that Tobi had to lost a medal, in that because of that as well. It's really sad. And talking about athletes going into doping that they know what it is, I don't think it's all athletes that deliberately, go into doping without knowing that, oh, okay, this is what I'm doing. Sometimes they'll come out and tell you it's a mistake. That probably they took a substance not knowing.
Well, in the case of a doping scandal, every athlete has the right to appeal his or her suspension before the Court of Arbitration for Sports. And, over the years, many athletes have also succeeded in proving that they did not take banned substances intentionally. Do you think the ARU puts the same energy it uses in sanctioning or in announcing a doping case into vindicating the athlete who is later found innocent?
Well, I don't think they put that much energy, if you ask me, because trust me, like they say, bad news spreads fast, right? They say bad news spreads fast. It's if you do something good, yes, they will celebrate you and all that. I mean, the rate at which Tobi's news was going back and forth, you wouldn't believe that, oh, okay, this news is traveling that fast. But I think it's same energy. If you ask me, if you check it, I think probably same energy, because the same way they were celebrating her success story, spreading the world champion and all that. It's the same way they came out to say, look, this world champion has failed and all. And don't forget, when anything concerns, probably I don't want to be racist here, but when it concerns the Blacks, there's always some form of, added attention to it, so which is why we always, have to do 10 times more, fight harder to put ourselves out there, and also fight harder to make sure we stay at the top. Because the chances that probably athletes abroad, advantages they probably get, it may not be, given to you. So it's I think it's a 50-50 thing. I think it's a 50-50 thing. So looking at the way she was celebrated, I don't think the energy is kind of different from when they said, oh, okay, she missed a dope test, which is why I'm really looking forward to the verdict in the next, say, 5 days from now. And hopefully it will be, okay, so that she probably have a fighting chance to go, compete at the World Athletics Championship. And hopefully, if she does miss this and she gets to appeal, hopefully she can get 1 year, she can get a reduction of probably 1 year. And if she gets 1 year after appealing, she'll get to compete in the next Olympics.
Paula, all right, now sports journalist Itoro James, thank you very much for your time. That's how much we can take on this edition of the program. Thank you for watching. I am Mary Kanu.